Is that the art style of Bree Draws? What? Huh? Oh, I asked if that was Bree Draws' art style. Oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah. Just give me a moment. I've been waiting for this day my whole life.
Hey dudes, it's Bree and I'm back with another art commentary. I usually do this sort of content and just art in general, but yeah, subscribe if that's the sort of stuff you enjoy. But anyway, I'm assuming you could probably relate to that intro piece I just did, or at least want to. And that's most likely why you decided to watch the video. Or maybe you don't and you're just here, and for that, hi! But that little skit is kind of the point of today's video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about art styles, or more specifically, stressing over not having one art style. So many artists, myself included, want that recognizable art style that makes people point and say, hey, is that Blank's art? Or maybe they just want an art style in general, because those can be tricky to find. And I honestly feel like this is an art topic that is surprisingly not spoken about as much. And I think it's kind of strange, because weirdly enough, it's a common problem for many artists. And this video is kind of just going to go over that, as well as just a bunch of different art style concerns, and also my tips for art style finding. For the longest time, I stressed over having one specific art style that everyone would just look at and know it was me. And my problem is that every single time I drew, you'd think that a completely different artist made it. And I absolutely hated it. But looking back, I love and appreciate that more now, even though I think I might have found my style. I don't know, just give me a month or two and I'll tell you then. But I actually like the idea of being an art style shapeshifter, or well, that's what I like to call it. And even now, I still use other art styles other than my art style that I'm currently obsessed with. And I honestly think a lot of artists should just break out of the box of stressing over having one set style. You don't even really need to have an art style in general. It's not like a requirement of being an artist or anything. There's not really any requirements at all. You aren't less of an artist for not having an art style, and you're not less of an artist for just sticking to one art style. And this video isn't to say that you can't have one art style and that it's bad to have one art style that you use or mainly use. That's perfectly fine, but I'm referring to those who constantly stress over having multiple art styles and want to find their own art style right now. And I will tell you right now, there is no set date on how long it'll take you to find your style. It can range from weeks to months to years, and I think we need to realize that's okay and perfectly normal. All artists move at their own pace, and whether you're doing it faster or slower, it doesn't matter. You'll find your art style when it's time, and you might end up with more than one, and it's perfectly fine. And I honestly hate the idea that artists should have one art style. You can have 2, 3, hell, even be an art style shapeshifter like I mentioned earlier. Those are all cool and it's fun to expand your art style. And I honestly think it's better for improvement, especially for beginners, to focus on learning and practicing all sorts of styles. Instead of just going right into the, I need to find an art style right now or I'm going to explode. But of course, like everything, that doesn't go for everyone since everyone's different. I just think in my personal opinion and my personal experience that practicing more art styles is really good for improvement and just finding your art style. But I think the belief that you should have one art style is an unfortunately common belief, mainly due to social media. But of course, the blame is not entirely on social media, but I do think that's a huge factor. You might be asking, why? The thing is that we see so many artists on social media, and what is something you notice? A lot of popular artists, if not all, have that one art style that makes you go, hey, isn't that Blank's art? All of their videos usually consist of that one art style that they always have. And I feel like that makes people think, well, should I have one art style? Many artists grow to either think that they need to have one art style, or they have this want for one, so they can get popular for their cool art style that makes people recognize them solely from their art. And that's in no way a bad thing, and there's no one really in the wrong here. That's not what I'm getting at. So many viewers get influenced to make their own art styles, which is great, until they're too hard on themselves about it. And they put this unnecessary pressure on themselves. A lot of people want their art style right now, and you know what? I get it. Having your own art style, whether you made it up entirely or your main art style is inspired by someone or something, it's pretty cool to have a style to call your own or label yourself under. In fact, go ahead and work on creating an art style you want to have. It's not bad to have one main art style, or just one art style in general if you want to. And I'm not trying to say it's bad. You should get to draw on however many styles you want to draw in, even if you want to stick with just one. But again, remember, it's okay if it takes time to develop an art style, or if you end up having more than one art style. And if you currently have an art style and fear you're getting bored of it, don't worry. Just slowly work on a new one. You don't have to make it your main focus, but just go with the flow and see where your style goes. But the thing I find most important in your art style is having fun. Even if you're afraid that it's unappealing to others, make your art style for you. Because look, if you're mainly going to draw in your art style, you should at least be having some fun with it at least. That's why I'm not the most fond of art style trend hopping when people are throwing their wants aside to go viral. But of course I'm not saying don't use popular art styles or don't art style hop with trends. No. Do what you want, but just make sure to have yourself in mind too. It's not some horrid act to use popular styles or trend hop, but it can get draining. Also, for the love of God, if you're one of those art style trend hoppers, there's no problem with that. But once the art style stops being popular, please do not be one of those people who start hating on it even though you were using it like 2 months ago. It just infuriates me to see people who use that exact style start hating on it later on. But anyway, something else I like to note is don't worry if you don't think your style is crazy unique. If you're having fun, go for it. Because to someone else, they might think that already about your art because art is so subjective. And actually, speaking on art being subjective, I had gotten a comment a while back, and I don't know where it is, so I'll summarize it from memory. But basically, I had gotten a question from someone asking how to change their art style for their hair because one of their friends didn't like the way they drew hair. At least I'm pretty sure it was hair. I'm not sure, but that's what I remember. But something I want to note is, it's not that they didn't like it, their friend didn't like it. And as a response, I did give some general art style tips in case they did ever want to change their art style anyway. But I did have something else to say before that. But funny enough, that's the comment that ultimately ended up inspiring me to make this video. Because that comment had me thinking about the topic of art styles for a while after I read it. It kind of just upset me because earlier in my art journey, if I had gotten a scenario like that, I probably would have done the same exact thing. I probably would have also went to others or researched ways to try and create a new style to please others. And something important I want to say about that is don't let others dictate your art style choices you enjoy making, especially over one person. Art is so subjective that it is entirely impossible to please everyone. What one person may dislike about a style, another person might love. A personal example is that many people tell me that the way I draw my eyes being almost the size of the skull is a bit scary. And I actually got a few rendering process jokes on it because for some reason that unfortunately still exists. But I love those huge, soulless, soul-sucking eyes. I find them so fun to draw and render with. They are my favorite part of every piece, aside from the squiggly blush. Also sparkles, because I freaking love sparkles. But everyone has their preferences, and not everyone's gonna like an art piece. And some may like an art piece that many hate, and that's why art is subjective. There is no objectively bad art or objectively good art. I have seen absolutely beautiful pieces, and I've seen people be like, it's not that good. You may not like a piece, or maybe you love one. There's no rule that you have to like all art, or dislike styles that others also dislike. Like the art you like and dislike the art you like. Neither is bad, and if you like your art style, keep it. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I were to draw the same style all the time, it has to be something I love, which is why I have my style. My style consists of all things I love. Swirly blush, big detailed eyes, marshmallow hands, anime-inspired proportions, a cutesy vibe, and bright colors. Also, side note, that's really ironic too, because mini off-topic thing, if you're unaware, I love old-fashioned and darker aesthetics. So I'm almost always in black and red and wearing skulls and stuff, and when people ask to see my art, they probably expect a similar aesthetic. But no, the second they open my sketchbook, it looks like a unicorn took a shit in there. It is colorful, it is cutesy, it is covered in kid-like stickers. And then almost always I get that look where they look at me, then the book, then me, then the book, and then they're probably thinking, what? And I absolutely love it. That's one of my favorite things about my art. My art style is literally the farthest from my appearance. And I don't know why, but that's my favorite aspect of it all. It's like a reminder not to judge a book by its cover. My art style is basically just all the things that I've enjoyed within all of the styles I've tested, all mashed into one. And if you're looking for finding your art style, that is the top thing I will tell you. Practice many styles and have fun shifting from style to style and find what sticks and find what you love. Like I found out about squiggly blush and it was revolutionary for me. It was in every single style I tested after that. And that's how I knew it was a keeper. If I do not have my signature squiggle blush or big eyes or cutesy look or sparkly hair, that is not me. That is someone in a skin suit that looks like me because you'd have to pry those from my cold, dead hands. A lot of things you like will accidentally stick, or sometimes you wish you could draw it again while drawing in other styles, and I think that's kind of what gives it off right away. Like, that's exactly what you're looking for. If you're trying different styles and you're still longing for that one feature that you tried out a few art styles ago, stick with it. Majority of the time, from what I've seen, art styles mostly form from old art styles that you try to replicate or just enjoyed viewing. And that's kind of why I think not worrying about your art style so much is good. I think exploring different art styles is better than just hopping into art and saying, I'm gonna find my art style today. I think focusing on just going with the flow and just going with whatever art style you have is a lot better than stressing over just having that one art style. Because again, you don't need to have that, I recognize that art style moment right away or even ever. It doesn't change your value as an artist or make your art bad. Like I said, it'll come in time and you just gotta focus on having fun testing art styles. And it'll help your abilities grow, and with all the styles you studied, it'll help you create your art style. And maybe your art style is a popular art style, like I don't know, the jelly art style. I'm not sure if that's still considered popular or overused, but that stuff is great too. Popular or unpopular, your style is whatever makes you happy and you enjoy drawing. And it eventually just becomes a habit and part of your art. Get inspirations from artists you like, cartoons, comics, all of that, and that'll help your style. And I want to say this for the millionth time until it is drilled in your brain for the rest of the week. I cannot stress enough, it is okay to end up having more than one art style, or not even just having an art style at all. You do not have to put yourself in a box of only one art style, like an artist's only goal in life is to find their art style. And again, that's not to put shade at those who only draw in their art style, but if you want to expand your art, do it. Step out of the box. There's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, it's worth it and it's super fun. You don't have to stick to that one art style. Mix it up if you want. I love mixing things up, especially for practice. There's never a limit to art styles. The only thing limiting you is yourself. But yeah, I guess that's it for today. This is just something I thought would be interesting to discuss, since I wish I would have seen a video like this when I was a younger artist. Because I would constantly be stressed and upset over not having that one recognizable art style, when I should have just focused on enjoying my art in the moment. And I should have appreciated my ability to be able to draw in so many art styles. And I think once I was able to realize this and stop stressing over finding my art style, I feel like I stuck with art styles way longer than I used to, because I didn't feel like I had a constant time limit on me that made me think that if I didn't find my style soon, I was a bad artist. I really think I would have been much happier as an artist knowing these things sooner, and hopefully this video does help someone watching this. But yeah, I guess that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it could inspire you. Also, before we go, I want to note something so hopefully a lot of my newer subscribers and reoccurring viewers see this because this keeps being asked. But no, I don't just cover dumb TikTok art drama. A lot of people seem to think that because there was, a lot for a while, back to back, because the art community was in a silly, goofy mood. I got some comments of people asking, so where's the drama on my non-related art drama videos? And I'll let some of you guys know now. If some of you that know me from that sort of content come across this, that's not my content entirely. But I mean, I get why you think that. Ignoring my animations, and aside from my last commentary video and my 30k special, I had 5 art drama videos in a row. 5. Holy sh**. So yeah, a lot of drama. I definitely see why you guys would think this is a drama channel, but I can assure you, this is just all things art, and possibly some fandom topics and story times in the future. So that's what you're gonna see. I'm also not a drama creator in general. Again, only art here, so no JoJo Siwa or Sniper Wolf commentary for those who requested that. Yes, I will make some art-related drama videos at times to defend creators and make teaching moments from these absolutely bonkers situations, some back-to-back even, but a lot of my content is also just this. Silly art opinions. But anyway, I think that's where I head out. Here are today's scrumptious brush codes, and with that, remember to love your art, love others, and love yourselves. Bye!